morning. This is Don Kingdom 533. We are doing a night siege, kind of updating all this stuff. And looky there, I got to call that. Do I have to call that back? I don't think I do. But what you do have to do on my castle here, what I do have to do is find my castle. Because it's young and early on, I'm going to have to put a defensive buff on there. Because even on easy mode, I lost a few last time. I'm a little stronger than I was then. And then we're going to put a March cap on there. Just a little 2-hour one. All right. Because it gives you your troops. So you don't have to worry about that. So we are looking at a start time of in 4 minutes. And we'll be waiting for that. Other than that, that's just make sure you've got your gear on. And you've got your March cap. And your defensive. An attack one if you're one of these people that chases the deal. I don't encourage people to chase the ghouls or whatever early. Because not everybody understands the 25 seconds that it takes for a march to move. And so 25 seconds there, 25 seconds back. And when you see 9 people go for the same thing, that means 9 people all want to be a hero. You don't get individual loot for it. You get individual recognition for it. But then from me, you're going to get individually singled out if you didn't make it back to your fort in time. Now, on the easy mode, the forts are strongest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. So your best gear guys need to be the base foundation of Fort 1. I want you to look at these mobs. Monstrosities are the toughest of the mobs. Bloodsuckers are the second toughest of the mobs. So that's why I'm stacking my best gear players or my highest march capacity in 1. And I'm putting my second best in Fort 2 right now. Not because it's Fort 2, but because that bloodsuckers are coming at it. On easy mode, they're not shifting these types of creatures around. In harder levels, they will shift the creature type. So your tough players can't just walk in Fort 1 and just stay there all the time. That used to be that way. I think there's a video out there on mine that shows that. That's just not the way it works anymore. So you need to be looking at your type as well as your quantity. Then your next best gear guys, the base foundation for Fort 2, then Fort 3, then Fort 4, then Fort 5. So you should always kind of be shuffling clockwise. How do I know who my best gear guys looking at the interface is? Basically judge it off March cap. If they've worked up their March cap, they've worked up their other stuff usually. So you hope they're not in there in their farm gear, but you can't tell without going anally looking through every single thing that's going on out there. So typically people are playing on a phone, they're right-handed. So I'm talking about being right-handed right now for playing Night Siege. So what do? They want to just throw a march in there and quit and go somewhere else, all right? So everybody clicks where their right thumb is, which is Fort 3. And Fort 3 is not where you need the most players if it's going to be a rough match. They don't spread out. They don't even take the 5 seconds to spread out. It's all about them clicking and jumping in there. Don't be that guy, all right? Look around. The other thing you don't want to be is learn how Night Siege works so that you're not the person going, where do you want me? Okay? Understand where you should be. This is the whole point of these videos is to teach you how to play the game, not to teach you how to ask somebody else how to play your game. You don't need me for that. Okay? Hit Night Siege. And we are going to open, confirm. I'm going to enter. Now, I'm a stronger person. I'm going to go plant myself in 1. Okay, so. And see it. Got right off the bat. There's a. And then, since I'm running this. Now, look up here. They're not there yet. But there's going to be these graphics for these mobs. There's going to be a mob count. Having more players doesn't make you strong enough, but the people in that fort have to be strong enough to stop that mob. Like I said, Fort 1 mobs are stronger than Fort 3 mobs. Forts 4 and 5 had slightly weaker mobs, the beasts that come at them. So that's where you want to pile up your weaker extras and your farms or whatever you're bringing in there to try and get the body count up or the free loot. So we got 1, 2s, 3. So the looky there, we got people that, and see, if you know how to play the game, and I got this is a new kingdom in Kingdom 533, but I got a lot of players who know what they're doing. They're not waiting to be told. I wish they would show just a touch of leadership in waiting to wait to be told, so that others learn to wait to be told if they don't know what they're doing. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It's, I get it. They know what they're doing, but right now, a person who doesn't know what they're looking at just sees people moving and doesn't know why. All right. And what they're doing is they're looking at this. This says number of creatures 2. There's now Lords garrisoning 3 in that castle. So if somebody was to run from one to the next, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my castle 2, because that's strong mobs, right? So Lady Sunshine, I'm going to ask her to move to 5. That way I know she's not in there trying to stop, because she's a really weak castle. I'm going to have her move to 5, because she would never be able to stop a Fort 2 mob, and that's why I'm asking her to move. How do I know what these numbers are? Experience. Experience is what you're going to get shortly after you need it. You'll know if it's enough or not when it leaks. We call it leaking. When you see the mobs run out of there, go look at how many marches in there and say, okay, I had 4 lords in there and it leaked. Who's my weakest lord? Because that's the guy that made it leak. I need to be stronger than that. So it's just an experience gain. I haven't mapped it out or made a chart or any of that stuff, because you're talking weeks worth of work that, quite frankly, the game could change on me at any moment. So we're going to look at Fort 3. Fort 3 is not as strong as Fort 2 for the mobs, but they are strong. But there's lots of good, strong guys in there. So Fort 3 is not going to leak. And Shadows is in there. I wish they'd sort these by strength so I just knew who was in the bottom. So I think we're good there. And I know we're good there. So, details. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to steal Shadows from 4 to 1. So that when we get more mobs there, we don't have to do anything like that. So, and then details, what I got hanging out in here. Okay, I'm going to take Impaler from 1 to 4. One, 4, confirm. Just based on his strength is all I'm doing there. Just March Cap. I don't know what they got on for gear or any of that stuff right now. I think this is going to be a winner. We're going to win this event. This is Night Siege on easy in a brand new kingdom. This is our second week of doing the Night Siege on easy. We went 10 rounds after 4 days in the kingdom. I was amazed we went 10 rounds. I really was. We didn't go 10 rounds the first Night Siege. I think we went 3, which was what we expected. So here come the mobs. We know the note rates. We got everything balanced out. We didn't get my swaps from 4 to 1 that I asked for, but I think that's a game communication glitch because their communication servers are on a different server than the game. If I'm right, these guys will swap after this hit. And we 100% stopped that for the first time. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to steal I Am Trooper. Go to 1, buddy. And then 2s and 3s. Because the mob count's low on the outside castles, I have time to make power adjustments. Yeah, as long as you get in at some time during this event, you get full credit for it. That's the beauty of it. So, details, impaler. I'm going to get Gizmo out of there, I guess. 1, Gizmo. You go to 4. All right. Holy crap, did I? Oh, no. Okay, there's enough in there. Yeah, I've already got people set and forgetting or whatever they're doing. I don't know why working on your other kingdom's castle is important during this 20 minutes of your life. These are actually kind of important in the early stages for the alliance. You need the alliance points more than you need anything. It's nice to get the loot, but you need the alliance points so that you can open up your membership numbers. All right, that gives us 2s, 3s, and I got a bunch of campers in Fort 1. Of all the places you don't want campers, Fort 1 and 2 is it. You need, unless they're the strongest players camping. I got little bitty players camping in there. And what that is that tells me there's a hide under a big guy mentality, and this event doesn't work that way. One mob, one person, you got to be big enough to kill that mob. There is a random chance for a crit on a big player that will cause failover. It's random. You can't plan for it. So you don't plan for it. You just get lucky. And I don't even know if that's true anymore. That was true when this came out. They've revamped this event 3 times. So I don't even know if the rollover where one person can kill 2 mobs is even true anymore. I haven't even looked at that stat report. I can look. But I don't think any of us are big enough for that. It takes me a minute to figure out who was it that just moved. Jojo, Lawrence, and Arkin are in 2. They don't even know why they moved. No clue. They don't know. They're just they're irritated that they're sitting, and they're sitting because they haven't learned what they need to do yet, so that we can go to a mode where, oh my God, no one has to sit. Everybody's moving around, but they don't know why they're moving. They don't know why they're doing it. They just think more is better, and that's Shadow that moved there. When the whole purpose for me moving him to 1 was because he was bigger. All right, I'm specifying only Shadow. Last time, 9 people went running for it. You don't get extra loot for it. There's no reason for it. And all you can do is put a fort at risk. He doesn't need to be in Fort 5, so he was someplace he wasn't supposed to be. He's got a big enough count. He should kill it one thing. Gives him something to do. You don't get any extra loot being the killer. You know, it's click button hero stuff. Not trying to pick him out, just trying to point out the problem. Yeah. This is so others can learn. What? Okay, so he's going back to 2, which is fine. That's where he should be. In 2 or 1. Actually, as big as he is, he should be backing me up in 1 in case we get like 2 or 3 elite mobs. We'll see. Right now, I got enough players in here that really nobody needs to move. I got them balanced out like they should be. And we got enough participants that this is going to go all the way. 2 coming in. 2, and see what I'm looking at here on the film, guys, is I'm looking at the next wave, not the one that's hitting now. I haven't seen any more players jump on. Oh, I mean, what do we got? 4, 12, 16, 19. 19 on a Saturday. Honestly, I'm happy with this right now. It also happens to be the number of people who signed up for the texting system. All right, so new alliance, new players, never seen this stuff, have no clue what Night Siege is. So do the basic explanation on how to find the button to click on. Because even though it scrolls up in the alliance chat, it scrolls back off real quickly. That's one of the problems I have with... All right. And at least at this point, when he looks at his stat reports, he'll see that he killed something. All right, that's kind of the goal we're trying to get there. Is it may be extra, and I don't need him in one, and he's not doing any harm sitting over there, but I want him to understand what he's capable of, so that he's learning. And next time he goes, okay, I know I can kill these level mobs, and so I'm going to move here. And they're like, oh, I've gotten stronger, so now I'm capable of moving from Fort 4 to Fort 3 next time. See that, and that's where you learn where you're at now, and then learn where you're going to be next week and or tomorrow. I would normally do the night sieges back to back. I'd like to do them back to back, but it's been my experience that no matter how active the alliance is, the number of people who show up for the first night siege drops off greatly for the second night siege, and that's because if it's done well, it's a little... I want you to look at these mobs. Monstrosities are the toughest of the mobs. Bloodsuckers are the second toughest of the mobs. So that's why I'm stacking my best gear players or my highest march capacity in 1. And I'm putting my second best in Fort 2 right now. Not because it's Fort 2, but because that bloodsuckers are coming at it. On easy mode, they're not shifting these types of creatures around. In harder levels, they will shift the creature type. So your tough players can't just walk in Fort 1 and just stay there all the time. That used to be that way. I think there's a video out there on mine that shows that. That's just not the way it works anymore. So you need to be looking at your type as well as your quantity. And quite frankly, it's better if your players are looking. If Fort 2 guys know that they're responsible for killing bloodsuckers, then they just need to shuffle to wherever the bloodsuckers are. And then you have a couple designated rovers. We've run this thing on the hardest level and never said a word in chat about where to move for. You can get to that point. And I expect to get that way here too. Like I said, it's much better to teach everybody to understand why instead of just following instructions at the time, because they shut their brain off. And I say this about other players. I'm like, those 3 people are all sharing a brain. Let's figure out which brain they're sharing. We'll keep that guy and throw the rest away. The little follow the leader, the clickish packish stuff. I don't want people moving because the R5 said move. I know that'll happen. But I want them to go, oh crap, I missed why I needed to move, and he had to tell me. That's what I want. That's a thought I would like to get in people's head, because that means I've taught instead of told. All right, so here we are starting round 10, and as you can see, we have purple monsters. And they're sending more of them to Fort 2. But they're the same master... Well, no, they're master bloodsuckers versus master monstrosities. So my master monstrosities are tougher than my master bloodsuckers. So we'll show you my fort detail. And I've got 2 guys over 100k in there. Arkin and Shadow are going to be the 2 that are probably going to stop those guys, if they can be stopped at our level and our gear. So... And then everybody else is just fighting wolfmen. They're fine. Nothing's changed there. So basically we need 1 really uber geared guy and 2 other uber geared guy. And we got what we got. March cap helps in this thing quite a bit. I got my fingers crossed. We've got all we got, and we've done all we can do. All right, 100% success rate, guys. I am going to show you my gear because people are going to wonder what it took to beat that on easy mode. I got 3 rep priests, 1 duelist piece, and 1 demon hunter from the starter quest drops. So it's nothing spectacular. I put a march cap boost on. I put a defense cap boost on that I got out of the catacombs. They're stupid cheap in there now. We can go show the battle report on that. Wolfman, Master Monstrosities, information. Yeah, I got it 100%. And then we're going to look at the Master Bloodsuckers. Shadows and Arkan, as I say, would be the ones that wind up killing those. Okay. And like I said, it just had to do with their March cap and where they sat, and that's how I knew who was going to wind up killing what in there. It does seem to go strongest to weakness in a fort. I really want my Fort 1 guys right now for my regular marches to be over 80. Let's see who and what I can steal from where. Yeah, hold on one second. Now this is where somebody could have been screwing us in this thing, where he went after a ghoul, wasn't asked to, came out of Fort 4 and 5, which I put you in there because you're not strong enough, so you shouldn't be chasing these things. And I'm about to go see who it was that did it. All right, here is the final wave. We're going to have leaks in 1, maybe some leaks in 2, I don't know. We've got the Monstrosities on 1 and the Bloodsuckers on 2. I think we're actually strong enough to hold the Bloodsuckers at this point, but nothing's holding back the Monstrosities, the Master Monstrosities. And then everything else is a quantity issue. It's still Wolfman on the easy mode. And we're tickled with this because we did win. I didn't get to brag about doing 100%. Oh, look at that. We actually leaked on wave 20. Yeah, so when on the Monstrosities, you can see where 38% of the Monstrosity was left after he hit me. I did 61% damage. But none of these other guys that I had in there did more than a point or 2 of damage. All right. So you can go rounds on one mob, but the guys I had in there weren't big enough for that mob. So I Am Trooper, Shadow 420, neither of them did enough damage to do any damage. All right, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.